Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome everybody to today's class. Jazakumullah to all of you for arriving early. We will begin today's lesson as per usual with our daily prayer. If we could have our discipline in charge to select a student, please. Assalamu alaikum, discipline in charge.
Wa alaikum salam. Our first student is G2 572.
G2 572. Assalamu alaikum. G2 572, could you unmute your mic, please? Maybe try somebody else.
Okay, sure. G2 602.
G2 602.
Assalamu
Wa alaikum assalam. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Excellent. How are you today?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I am very well. Jazakumullah for asking. So we're going to begin with our opening prayers. Okay. So I will recite and then you recite after me. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
And
I
the
seek
translation?
refuge with Allah from Satan the rejected.
Very good. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
Well done, mashallah. And let's go on to our daily prayer. Just a second. Rabbi allimni ma huwa khayrun indak.
Rabbi alimni ma huwa khayrun indak. Oh my Lord, teach me what is best for me in your knowledge.
Excellent. Very nice recitation. Jazakumullah G2602. Okay, so reminder for all of our students, it's things you already know, but we should always keep being reminded about things, even if we already know them. The etiquettes of the class, you should all be in wudu. You should have clean clothes on with your heads covered. You should be in a quiet place. Remember, this is very important, that you're sitting in a quiet place when reciting the Quran. You should have a parent present or elder present while you are reciting, and also make sure that you have your correct ID. You may find yourselves in the waiting room if you do not have your correct ID, and you will not be called to the mic unless you have your correct ID. So if you have forgotten to rename yourself, please do that and make sure that you have your correct ID within the class. Okay, so in today's class, just a sec, here we are. The schedule for today is class number 28. The date is the 23rd of February, the 23rd of the 2nd. We have begun with our opening assembly. We have a few announcements, which I will do in a moment. The rule in focus today is Hamza Sakin, which we will go over as a class. We will then go on to our practice text, which is today chapter 85, verses 1 to 11. We'll then have our new section, which is our QRS 1, and we'll be looking at part 3 today. We will continue with our practice text, and then we will consolidate with our homework and any other announcements and closing dua. Okay, so before we begin the class, just another quick reminder about the Jalsa, Yom Muslim on Friday. The Jalsa takes part in normal class time. So just make sure you just enter the class as per usual, as you normally would, in order to partake in the Jalsa. For the Jalsa, as you can see at the end here, we have a quiz. So the Jalsa online quiz will be taken from the book, which is linked here. You can just push on the link, and this will be in your chat so that you can go onto it easily. The book is Basics Religious Education. It's the PDF. And the page numbers are given for you to make it easier for you to find the answers to the questions. So please try and go through. We're not trying to trick you with the quizzes. We want you to learn, and we want you to do well. We want all of you to do well. Okay, so please have a look through, go onto the link and have a look through and read through the pages and try and make sure you know the answers to these questions. so that when the quiz comes, you can all get 100%, inshallah. Okay, so that's what we want. We want you to be able to learn these things, and we want you to get 100%. We want you to do well, right? So there are 15 questions. The questions will also be shared with you so that you can go through each of them and find out what the answers are. So when it comes time for the quiz, you will know the answer to the questions. Okay, so that is for Friday, right? So as I said in today's lesson, we will be looking at the rule in focus, which is Hamza Sakin. So if we open our lesson for today, okay, quiescent Hamza or Hamza Sakin. So what is Hamza Sakin? It is a Hamza or an Alif with a Sukun. So let me just read through a little bit about what this means. It says, some words of the Holy Quran contain an Alif or a Hamza Sakin, an Alif or a Hamza, the letter with a Sukun. So for example, where's my highlighter? You can see here, we have an Alif with a Sukun on top. Okay, we have over here a Hamza with a Sukun on top. Okay, this is called Hamza Sakin. Right? Now, this Hamza should be pronounced with a soft jerk from the bottom of the throat. You must ensure that it is not exchanged with the Ain sound, which is produced from the middle of your throat. Okay, so like I've said before, if you put your fingers on your throat very lightly, you can feel where the sounds are coming from. So an Ain comes from the middle, but the Alif, the Hamza Sakin, or the Alif here, comes from the bottom of your throat. Okay, and when you are saying this, when you are joining a Hamza with a Sukun on top to the letter before, you have to make a very soft jerking sound. Okay, so normally this first letter here, we would say Ta, right? Because there is an Alif with a Sukun on top, we say Ta, Ta, soft jerk sound, right? Ma, Ma, again, soft jerk sound. Na, na. So it's not with the Ain sound, it's not from the middle of your throat, it's from the bottom. So you're joining the Noon to the Alif, but making a soft jerk. Here, wa, wa. Here, ya, ya. Here, we now have a kasra underneath the Jim, which we need to join to the Hamza Sakin. So we say jit, jit. Very soft jerk, okay, very soft jerk in the sound. Da, da. Fa, fa. Bit, bit. Now here, if you remember, we've looked at this before, there is a waw here underneath the Hamza, and then there is a sukun on top. If you remember, if there is a waw or a ya, and the Hamza is sitting on top of it, the waw makes no sound, okay? It is, it's like a little chair or a little stand or a little chair in order to put your Hamza on top of it, okay? So the waw makes no sound here. You only are pronouncing the Hamza here, okay? So in this case, it will be to, to. So the ta is joining to the Hamza with the sukun on top, not the waw, okay? Next one. Sa, sa. Last one, ra, ra. Okay, so if we have a student on the mic, and then we'll go through these words. And everybody at home, please, remember you need to recite as well, okay? So if we could have a student on the mic, please.
Yes, sure. Our next student is G2 627.
G2 627. Assalamu alaikum. G2 627, are you here? Could you unmute your mic, please? I think we may need to choose someone else.
Yeah. Okay. G2 623.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Is that G2 623?
No, it's G2627.
Ah, okay, brilliant. So we've got G2 627. Great. Discipline in charge, can you make sure that we've written that number down?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So if we start with tawuz and tasmiyah, and then I will recite these words, and I want you to just recite after me. Okay?
Okay.
So begin with tawuz and tasmiyah. A'udhu billahi.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Well done. Good. So here we have ta, which we have to join to an alif with a sukoon on top, hamza sakin. So we will say ta, ta.
Ta.
Very good. Now we're going to put that into a word. This word here, this first word, right? So we will say na.
أخطأنا
Very good. na.
أخطأنا
Very good. So remember, ta is one of our thick sounds. So we need to make a nice round shape with our mouth when we say this letter here. na.
أخطأنا
Next one, ma.
ما
Very good. Now let's say the word ma'kulin.
مأكول
Very nice. Ma'kulin.
مأكول
Very good. Well done. Next one here. Na.
نا
Na'khudhu.
نأخذ
Na'khudhu.
نأخذ
Very good. Well done. Wa.
و
Wa'tuni.
وأتوني
Very good. Wa'tuni.
وأتوني
Very good. Well done. Next one. Ya.
يا
Ya.
يا
Very good. So we have to be very careful that we don't just say ya. It's not a ya without an alif afterwards, just with a fatha on top. It's a ya with an alif with a sukoon on top, hamza sakin. So we have to make sure we make that soft jerking sound. Okay? So let's say the word ya'murukum.
يأمركم
Ya'murukum.
يأمركم
Very good. Let's do it once more. Ya'murukum.
يأمركم
Very good. Well done. Ji.
ج
Very good. Well done. Oh, 1 second. Wrong one. Jitana.
جئتنا
Jitana.
جئتنا
Very good. Jazakumullah G2 627. Really lovely recitation. Thank you for your help.
حافظ
Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, if we could have another student, please.
Yes, our next student is G2623.
G2623. Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. Are you understanding okay how to join to the Hamza Sakin?
Yes.
Excellent. Good. So if we start with Tawud and Tasmiyah, and then we'll go through the next few words.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Very good. Okay. So the next one is Ta.
Ta
Ta.
ta
Good. Well done. So remember, this is the letter Ta, and this is the letter Ta. So when you are saying this letter, you have to make a smiley face. Okay. So it's a nice soft sound, thin sound. Ta.
ta
Very good. Now we're going to say the whole word. Ta'lamuna.
ta'lamuna
Very nice. Ta'lamuna.
ta'lamuna
Very good. Well done. Next one. Fa.
fa
Fa.
fa
Fa'wu.
fa wu
Very good. So we're going to extend this for about 3 seconds. Okay. Fa'wu.
fa wu
Very good. Well done. Excellent. Let's move on. Bit.
Bit.
Very good. Bit sama.
bit sama
Bi'sama.
Sama.
Very good. Now, here, remember, we have to join to the Hamza Sakin, not the waw. Okay, so we will say
Okay.
to.
Tu.
Very good. Well done. Tu'minuna.
Tu. Minuna.
Tu'minuna.
Tu. Minuna.
Very good. Next one. Sa.
Sa.
Asatum.
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 Okay, so when we say sa, if there was no alif there, we would say sa, which is soft, right? If
Yeah.
it was a hamza without, if it was an alif without the sukoon on top, then we would elongate the scene for 2 seconds because it would be an alif mad. And we would say sa for 2 seconds, right? But because there is a sukoon here, we have to make a soft jerk and join the scene to the alif. So we say sa,
Sa.
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 Very good, excellent. So you have to make that jerking sound right at the end, a very soft jerking sound. Okay, so it closes the
Okay.
sound up. So asatum,
Asatum.
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 Very good, well done, excellent. Let's move on. Ra,
Ra.
very good. Iqra,
Ikara.
iqra.
Ikara.
Okay, again, try to make the jerk sound right at the end of the ra. So you're joining the 2 letters together. So it's not just ra, it's ra.
Ra.
Very good. Okay, so you're closing the sound and you're jerking it there. Iqra.
Ikara.
Very good. So make sure when you're practicing that you really focus on making that really soft jerk sound at the end, so that it joins the letter before to the Hamza Sakin. Okay, Jazakumullah, thank
Okay.
you so much for your
Can I
help.
read the end or?
We will see if the discipline in charge thinks it's appropriate at the time. Okay, Jazakumullah,
Okay.
thank you. Allah Hafiz. Okay, if we could have another student, please.
Yes, our next student is G2 657.
G2 657. Assalamu alaikum, G2 657. G2 657.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Excellent. Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. You're understanding the rules today, okay?
Yes.
Excellent. So if we do tawuz and tasmiyah, I'm not going to ask you all of these. I'm going to choose a few to ask you, okay?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Good, well done. So can you just tell me this sound, please? Here.
Ta.
That, well done. Excellent. You make a nice soft jerk there. Well done. And then we're going to do the whole word. Ta'tihim.
Ta'tihim.
Very good. Now can you do this one? Oh, just the first sound.
J.
J. Well done. Excellent. So if everybody hears, this is really, she's doing this really, really well. J. J. Once more.
J.
Very good. Jitukum.
Jitukum.
Very good. Well done. Let's do this one here. So it's just the ya here. Sorry. Just the sound joining to the hamza in the middle.
Yo.
Very good. Yo. Once more.
Yo.
Very good. Liyu'minu.
Liyu'minu.
Okay, so make it a little bit softer when you're joining. Make sure so it doesn't have that sound that comes from the middle of the throat. Liyu'minu.
Liyu'minu.
Very good. Well done. Let's try this one here.
It.
Very good. It.
Dia.
Very good. It. Dia.
Dia.
Very good. Well done. And let's try one more. Let's do this one here. Okay, I'm going to recite the word first because we're going to join the meme straight to the ya here. Okay, but we're going to make a nasal sound. Maya.
Maya.
So we have to make a nasal sound when we're joining. Maya.
Mayat.
Mayati.
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 Good. So you're making a nasal sound here when you're joining to the meme to the ya, like a nasal sound instead of saying the actual noon, you're making a nasal sound. Mayati.
Mayati.
Very good effort. Well done. Jazakumullah G2657 for your help. Allah Hafiz. Okay. Good, well done. So I want everybody to keep note of how you need to make this sound when you are joining to the Hamza. It will come in today's Quranic verse as well, which we're going to move on to now. So in today's session, we are going to be looking at Surah Al-Buruj, which is a Meccan surah. It's in part 30 of the Holy Quran. The chapter number is chapter 85. It has a total of 23 verses, but one ruku only. And it was the 27th surah to be revealed. Okay, so as you can see within this surah, we do have examples of Hamza Sakin. We have Mo here. Again, we have Yo here, Mo again here, and Mo again here. Okay, so this is something that you need to know, and you need to make sure that you pronounce it correctly because it comes often within the Holy Quran. Okay, if we could have our next student for a recitation, please.
Yes, our next student is G2632.
Did we just have G2632, I think?
We had G265.
No, we had G2623. Okay, yes, that's fine. G2632.
32, yeah.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine.
Good,
How are
excellent.
you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine as well. Jazakumullah for asking. Are you ready to recite today?
Yes.
Excellent. So if we start with Dawood and Tasmiyah, and then we'll begin.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Very nice. So I'm going to recite and then I will stop and then you will recite verse by verse. Okay?
Okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود وشاهد ومشهود. Okay, so we've got 3 verses there, so we're just going to do one at a time. Okay, so let's start with the first one. وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ. Off you go.
وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ.
Very nice, well done, excellent. Let's move on to the next one. وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ.
وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ.
Very good, well done. وَشَاهِدٍ
وَشَاهِدٍ
وَمَشْهُودٍ.
مَشْهُودٍ.
Well done, excellent. We're going to do that whole verse together now. وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ.
وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ.
Beautiful, excellent recitation, mashallah. I'm going to now recite the next 2 verses and then you're going to have a go, okay?
Okay.
قُتِلَ أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود. This one.
قتل
Yep.
قتل أصحاب الأخدود.
Very good. Once more. قتل
قتل أصحاب الأخدود.
Very nice recitation. I'm going to recite it once more and then I want you to try to recite it in a little bit more flow, okay? قتل أصحاب الأخدود.
قتل أصحاب الأخدود.
Beautiful, well done. And now the next one. النار ذات الوقود.
النار ذات الوقود.
Beautiful, well done. Do it once more. We made a slight mistake here, so just do it once more.
النار ذات الوقود.
Very good, excellent recitation. Mashallah, G2 632. You held on the nasal sound with the noon guna here really, really well, which is often something that people forget to do. So it's really, really important that all students remember you need to hold on to that nasal sound.
Am I pottery?
Yes, I think so. We'll have to ask the discipline in charge just in a moment. And you recited really well. Your elongation was really good. So now your flow was really good as well. When I asked you to recite the entire verse together, your flow was really good and we weren't taking breaths in the middle, which is brilliant, mashallah. So keep on practicing with your flow and making sure that the more that you can read in one breath, the more beautiful it will sound. Okay, so well done. Jazakumullah, thank you so much for your help. What is your brother's number? We can ask discipline in charge.
It's G2 631 and she can recite. I just checked it.
Excellent. G2 631. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine.
Alhamdulillah, excellent. I'm glad to hear that. That's good. So if you do Dawood and Tasmiyah, and then we will begin.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Beautiful, well done. So I'm going to recite this again. I want you to recite it again. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Beautiful, well done, excellent. The first time you recited that, I couldn't really hear the ha sound, but the second time you made that a bit clearer, so that's really good. Okay, well done. So I'm going to recite the next verse. I'm going to recite the next two verses. I just want you to listen, and then I will recite the single verse, which I want you to repeat after me. Okay? Okay.
Right.
إذ هم عليها قعود وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود. Okay, I'm now going to recite one verse and then I want you to repeat. إذ هم عليها قعود.
إذ هم عليها قعود.
Very nice. Once more.
إذ هم عليها قعود.
Beautiful. Well done. Excellent. I'm going to recite the next one now. Okay. وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود.
وهم على ما Yeah.
It's okay, carry on. Carry on, and then we'll do it again.
Aluna minina shuhud.
Really good effort. Well done. Really good effort. You were trying to correct yourself again, which is really good as well, but we'll break it down now. Okay. So this point here, we have an elongated sound here and here. Okay. So when we do it, we need to take a nice deep breath so we can say both of these sounds. Wahum ala ma yaf'aluna. Try that.
Wahum ala ma yaf'alu.
Very well done. Well done. Just stop there for a minute. That's really, really good. You're making sure you stopped. You made sure that you elongated this because this is a vertical fatha. You elongated here. This is an alif madda. So you have to have 2 seconds. And this is a waw madda. So you have to elongate here as well. So that was really good. So one more nice deep breath just up to here. Okay. Wahum ala ma yaf'uluna. Off you go.
Wahum ala ma yaf'aluna.
Beautiful. Well done. Excellent. Now we're going to continue from here, right? So remember here, we have a Hamza Sakin. So what I want you to be really careful about is you're not joining to the waw and you're not saying a meme with a dhamma. You are saying a meme with a dhamma, which you then have to join to a Hamza Sakin. So you have to make a soft jerking sound there, right? So it would be mo. Say that.
Mo.
Very good. Mo.
Mo.
Good. So let's start from here. Bil-mu'minina.
Bil-mu'minina.
Very good. Well done. Bil-mu'minina shuhud.
Bil-mu'minina shuhud.
Very good. Now I'm going to recite the verse once more, and then I want you to have a go. Okay. Wahum ala ma yaf'aluna bil-mu'minina shuhud.
Wahum ala ma yaf'aluna bil-mu'minina shuhud.
Beautiful. That was so good. Such a good effort, mashallah. Well done. You really took the points of where I said you needed to make sure to elongate and make the sounds correctly. Your recitation was really good. The first verse you did really well by yourself. This was a slightly longer verse. So what you need to do is just make sure you break it down. You see, it only took us 2 to 3 minutes to break the verse down, to say it into sections, and then you were able to recite the whole thing really beautifully all at once. So keep practicing, keep breaking things down, reciting, and then going back to the beginning of the verse and reciting again. Okay, Jazakumullah, thank you so much for your help. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, if we could have our next student, please.
Yes, our next student is G2 660.
G2 660.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Excellent. Understanding everything okay?
Yep.
Excellent. So I am going to begin from here, but I want you to recite Dawood and Tasmiyah, and then I will begin.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very good. So I'm going to recite the entire verse, okay, up to here, and then I want you to have a go reciting it, okay? وَمَا نَقَمُوا مِنْهُمْ إِلَّا أَنْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ الْعَزِيزِ الْحَمِيدِ
وما نقموا وما نق- وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا بالله العزيز الحميد.
Really, really good effort. Well done. Excellent. Couple of little things to make it even better. Okay. Remember, we have a Hamza Sakin here. So we need to make a soft jerking sound, right? So it would be ayyo, ayyo, minu,
أن يؤمنوا
ayyo, minu.
أن يؤمنوا.
Very good. Well done. So that last time you made that jerking sound. So we could hear that you're making a jerking sound there. Well done. Now, this is a thick sound. This is a thick qaf. So you have to make your mouth into a round shape when you say this sound. Qa. Okay. Very good. Well done. Yes, I think everything else was fine. So we're going to break it down. We're going to read a little bit at a time, and then we'll put it back together again. وَمَا نَقَمُوا مِنْهُمْ إِلَّا أَن يُؤْمِنُوا
وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا.
Very good. أن يؤمنوا.
أن يؤمنوا.
Very good. بالله العزيز الحميد.
بالله العزيز الحميد.
Very good. So start again from the beginning. Make sure you make this thick sound. That means you need to make your mouth into a round shape here. Qa. Okay? And make sure here. Ayyo. Okay, soft jerk there. Off you go.
وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا بالله العزيز الحميد.
Excellent. Much, much better. Well done. Beautiful recitation. Really good fluency. You managed to do the whole verse really nicely. Just really focusing on making sure that it doesn't just sound like yo or you. You're actually making the soft jerking sound at the end afterwards if there is a Hamza Sakin. Okay. Jazakumullah. Thank you so much. G2660. Well done. Okay. So we are now going to have a quick look. Let me mark this here. At the QRS for today. Okay, so we are looking at the different parts, if you remember from your presentation on Monday, and the different parts, the Sabare, the different parts of the Holy Quran and why they are named as they are. On Monday, you looked at part 1. Yesterday, you looked at part 2. Okay, and our presentation on Monday explained why the different parts have certain names. So in today, we are just focusing on part 3 and the name of part 3. So part 3 of the Holy Quran begins within Surah Al-Baqarah. Okay, the part is called Tilkar Rusul. Tilkar Rusul. Okay, and I'll show you why that is in a moment. It's Al-Baqarah, chapter 2 of the Holy Quran, verse 254. Okay, and it goes all the way up to the next chapter, which is Surah Al-Imran, which is chapter 3 of the Holy Quran, and it ends on verse 92. Okay, so if I show you just a second here, we have your Holy Quran open here. If you go to Al-Islam, you can find this quite easily, and you all have your copies at home as well. So as you can see, we are in chapter 2, which is Surah Al-Baqarah. Okay, if you look at the top here, we're in verse 254, which is labeled here, 254. Okay, and you can see very, very clearly here we have part number 3. Okay, so it's very clearly laid out in the English translation here as well. Right, and at the top over here, you can see at the top of the page we have PT.3. So that means part number 3. Part number 3, and on the other side you have your chapter number, which is chapter number 2, which is Surah Al-Baqarah. Now the reason the chapter is called what it is called is because of these words right here, Tilkar Rusul or Tilkar Rusulu. Okay, so that is the name of the part you're about to start. So if you're about to start part number 3, this will be the first words that you would read in part number 3. Okay, if you were then to go back, if we just go back here and we see that it's Surah Al Imran, chapter 3, verse 92. So if you were going to go back to your Holy Quran, just a second. Let me just close this for 1 second. And we can go back to the Holy Quran, right? If we were to go to chapter 3, verse 92, you would see that here you can see that part number 3 is ending and part number 4 is beginning. Okay, and then you will come up with your next word so that you would know the title of that part as well. Right? So again, this is just so that you get an idea of the different parts of the Holy Quran and why they are called different things. It is because of the words that they begin with. Okay, so part number 3, Tilka Rusulu. Okay, right. Well done, mashallah. So we're going to go back now to our recitation of the Holy Quran. If we could have our next student, please.
Yes, our next student is G2 722.
G2 722.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Excellent. Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. Are you understanding everything today okay?
Yes.
The rule of Hamza Sakin, yes?
Yes.
Excellent, good. So if we start with Tawud and Tasmiyah, and then we will begin our recitation.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Excellent. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Recite that once more.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Beautiful, well done. So I am going to recite, we've stopped here. So I'm going to start reciting from here. I will recite the verse and then you can have a go, okay?
Okay.
Okay. الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء شهيد.
الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله أرى كل شيء شاهد.
Really good effort, mashallah. Well done. Excellent. Very, very good effort. So we're going to break it down a little bit. Okay. So we need to make sure that we don't elongate, make anything longer that we don't need to, but that we do elongate at the correct time. Right. We're going to make a stop here. We're going to pause here. Right. Because of this little sign here, we're going to make a pause there. So we're going to start with this section of the verse and then we'll move on to that section afterwards. Okay. الذي له
الذي له
الذي له
إلا
الذي good
الذي الذي له.
So we have to elongate this for 2 seconds because this is an inverted dhamma. Okay. الذي له
الذي له
ملك السماوات
ملك السماوات
والأرض.
والأرض.
Very good. Let's try it once more. الذي له
الذي له.
Good. Make sure that's 2 seconds there. Right? Once more.
الذي له.
Very good. Well done. So I'm going to move on to the next word as well. So I'm going to join those two together, right? الذي له ملك السماوات.
الذي له ملك السماوات.
Very good. Well done. Now we're going to try and say the whole thing up to here, the whole verse up to here together, right?
Okay.
الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض.
الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض.
Very good. Well done. Excellent. I'm going to move on now to the second part, right? Wallahu.
والله
Wallahu ala.
والله أعلى.
Right. So we're going to elongate this lam for 2 seconds. Okay. Wallahu ala.
والله أعلى.
Good. So ayn, remember, comes from the middle of your throat. A. La.
على.
Good. Well done. So elongating this. Ala.
على.
Very good. Well done. Kulli.
كل
Excuse me. Kulli shay'in.
كل شيء
Shay'in.
كل شيء.
Okay, so here we have to make a nasal sound. In. Very good. Kulli shay'in.
كل شيء
Shaheed.
شهيد.
And make a soft jerk at the end as well. Shaheed.
شهيد.
Very good. So we're going to say this second section together. Wallahu ala kulli shay'in shaheed.
والله على كل شيء شهيد.
Really good effort. Well done. So what I want you to do is I want you to really practice making sure that you are elongating in the correct places. Okay. Make sure with your tanveen that you make your nasal sound, right? When it is needed. So in this case, it is needed. Shay'in shaheed. Right?
شيء شهيد.
Very good. And make sure that when you're reciting, you break down, like I said previously, break down the verse, make it into small sections, because when you break it down and you say each part properly and then you put it together, overall your fluency will become so much better, and it will happen so quickly you won't realize. So you put a little bit of time and effort in now to break the sections, break the verse, into different sections, and then put it together, because when you'll become more fluent, and as you continue to read the Quran, it will become better and better and better, inshallah. Okay, Jazakumullah, thank you so much for your help.
جزاكم الله.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, if we could have our next student, please.
Yes, our next student is G2 606.
G2 606.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I am good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I am very well. Are you understanding everything okay?
Yes.
How to join with the Hamza Sakin?
Yes.
Excellent. So can you tell me this one here?
Mu.
Mo.
Mo.
Very good. Well done. Okay, if we do Tawuz and Tasmiyah, and then we'll begin.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very good. So it's a longer verse this time. So I want you to just listen while I recite, and then you can recite, and then we'll break it down if we need to. Okay?
Okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا فلهم عذاب جهنم ولهم عذاب الحريق. Okay, off you go, you have a go.
إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا فلهم عذاب جهنم ولهم عذاب الحريق.
Very good. Really, really excellent effort, mashallah. Well done. You managed to recite all of the entire verse, 1.5 lines of the verse, mashallah, and I think almost in one breath. Maybe you made a couple of breaths in the middle, which is fine because you're practicing. Each of your letters was really good. You elongated well, mashallah, throughout, which was really nice as well. A couple of things you need to just keep a note on is here. Do you remember what this is called? Can you remember a noon with a shadda?
A noon.
Noon gunna.
Yeah.
Gunna. So when we join and we have a noon gunna, we have to make a nasal sound for about 2 seconds. Okay, so we have innalladhina.
Innalladhina.
Good, well done. And over here, jahannama.
Jahannama.
Very good, well done. Your joining to your Hamza Sakin was really good, nice and clear there as well. So let's have another go from the beginning.
Innalladhina fatanul mu'minina wal mu'minati summa lam yatubu falahum azabu jahannama walahum azabul hariq.
Very good, excellent, really good. So you made sure that you elongated you made a nasal sound on the noon gunna. The other place where you need to make a nasal sound is your mim gunna. So it's the same rule that applies. Okay, so just like we say innalladhina, we would say thumma here. Okay, thumma.
Thumma.
Very good. Thumma lam.
Thumma lam.
Very good, well done. And mashallah, your recitation was really good. All you need to do now is just really work on your breath work to make sure that you take a nice big breath in and you recite as much as possible in one breath, okay? Because that will make your recitation even more beautiful. So if we start again and we say, innalladhina fatanul mu'minina wal mu'minati thumma lam yatubu falahum adhabu jahannama walahum adhabul hariq. One more time.
Innalladhina fatanul mu'minina wal mu'minati summa lam yatubu falahum azabu jahannama walahum azabul hariq.
Very good, excellent, really, really lovely recitation, mashallah. G2606. Well done. Jazakumullah for your help. Allah Hafiz.
Can my brother please have a turn?
Let me see, how much time do we have? We have a minute, so we can do a couple of verses at the beginning. If that's okay with discipline in charge.
I don't know the ID.
His ID is G2613.
G2613 actually recited on Tuesday, so I'm not sure.
Okay, no, we have to give goes to everybody. So if they've recited already this week, then I'm afraid he won't be able to today.
It's okay.
Jazakumullah. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, right. We have time for one more student.
Okay. G2621.
621. G2621.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. So if we recite Tawuz and Tasmiyah, then we have a little bit of time that we can get some recitation in here.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very nice. So I'm going to recite, and then I want you to recite afterwards. Okay, I'm going to recite 1, 2, 3 verses. Right? والسماء ذات والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود وشاهد ومشهود. Okay.
والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود والشاهد ومشهود.
Very good effort. Can we try from here once more? وشاهد ومشهود.
والشاهد ومشهود.
Okay, so you said this correctly here. Sha, washa. So this is also a sheen here. Mashhood. Okay, once more.
Mashhood.
Very good. Once more. Try it from here.
وشاهد ومشهود.
Beautiful. Well done. Really lovely recitation. G2 621. Really nicely recited. Each verse you recited really, really clearly. You made sure your elongation was correct, and you pronounced every single sound and letter, which is the most important thing when we are reciting the Holy Quran. Your timing and your pronunciation of every single letter. So Jazakumullah, thank you so much for your help. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, so mashallah, let us move on to our homework for today. So in today's lesson, we looked at the rule of Hamza Sakin. So if you see a Hamza or an Alif carrying a Sukoon, you have to read it with a soft jerking sound. So that's our rule for the day, which you do need to practice, okay? We looked at chapter 85 today, and we covered verses 1 to 11. We also looked at the part 3 today, and we found out the name of part 3, which was Tilka Rusulu, or Tilka Rusul, okay? Tilka Rusul, which is it begins in chapter Surah Al-Baqarah, which is chapter 2, at verse 254, and ends, part 3 ends in Surah Ali Imran, chapter 3, verse 92. Okay, so your homework for today is to practice all the rules that you've revised so far in your daily tilawat. When you do your daily tilawat, that's your homework for today. Okay, and please make sure that you practice your Hamza Sakin as well, so that you become really good at making that soft jerking sound. Okay, Jazakumullah. Okay, if we can go now to our final prayer for today. So if we could have our final student, please.
Yes, G2709.
G2709.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I am well. So we're going to do our final prayer. I'm going to recite it, and then you can recite after me. Okay. Allahumma arhamni bil-Qur'anil azim.
Allahumma arhamni bil-Qur'anil azim. Oh Allah, have mercy on me through the Quran the Great.
Well done. Waj'alhu li imaman wa nuran wa hudan wa rahmah.
Waj'alhu li imaman wa nuran wa hudan wa rahmah. And make it for me the leader of the night, the guidance and the mercy.
Jazakumullah G2709. Jazakumullah to all our students and all our parents who took part today and who are listening at home. And inshallah, we will see you all again tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.